Greetings all you Manics, Minds, and Grinds. Welcome back to another Warframe Weapon Showcase. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Stradavar Prime, an assault rifle I haven't covered yet. Interesting. Anyway, I have a ribbon for this weapon, so I am going to be showing ribboned builds. And also, I do not think I'm going to go into steel path with this weapon because when it comes to steel path and normal weapons like guns, there's very few that can actually handle those super ultra chunky enemies. I mean, I could go against the infested, but I don't see a point really because you're going to be mostly using melee and steel path anyway if you're going to be doing steel path. That's a big if right there. Until steel path gets updated, that is. Anyway, so the Stradavar Prime is a pretty cool assault rifle. I always thought the normal Stradavar was neat and was good, and the Stradavar Prime is ever so slightly a little bit better. I wish they changed a few things, but whatever. Anyway, this is the build. So, ribbon to position of 3 out of 5, and this is my ribbon. Damage to infested, critical damage, damage minus zoom. I really wish that was critical chance. I also wish that was plus heat and not damage to infested. But beggars can't be choosers. So this is a viral setup and this is a corrosive setup. Literally just changed one mod. Anyway, does Garuda have anything on her? Arcane Pistoleer, no. Okay. So it is a full auto rifle. And it basically has a small dinner plate on top. There's a weapon in Call of Duty and Rainbow Six Siege that is basically the same thing. Anyway, the semi-auto fires 2 shots per. And I gotta show you the semi-auto stats because they are, they're more. So more critical chance, more critical damage, and more status, and more base damage. So the one problem this weapon has, so it doesn't hit like a goddamn train, is that its base damage is low. Assault rifles have this trend of either being critically focused with super low damage numbers or a hybrid like this with mediocre damage numbers. So anyway, enough talking about math and dinner plates. Let's shoot up some enemies. So these are level 145 corrupted heavy gunners. This is the viral setup. And this is with the ribbon. Now here's the thing with viral. Yes, it works. But not like the best just by itself. And this weapon does have the status chance to push more slash. But so this is the semi-auto. So the semi-auto hits pretty damn hard. So yeah. If you want to use this thing like a, DMR, then there's that. So let's move on to the corrosive setup. And I will quickly show a non-ribbon setup. It's literally just replace the ribbon for a heat mod. That's it. So corrosive. Corrosive genuinely against most opponents like Grenier and most infested just works better than viral. But yeah. And of course, Warframe buffs, are gonna make the gun hit harder. And I'll show that in a moment. You don't have to aim, just have fire with it, So yeah, the critical damage on this weapon is really high with this ribbon. But like I said, 60%, well, 60%, I haven't said this yet, but 60% critical chance. I wish that was at least 70-ish, and I wish the base damage was much higher. Or this thing had an added effect, like its alt fire was a grenade launcher. Something like that, that'd be cool. I don't know. I really wish DE would get out of the trend of having primes being the exact same thing, just with better stats. I wish they were different. I wish they had something extra, like they had a little bit of extra sauce. Um, so obviously you could do something like that. You could just replace the ribbon with hunter munitions for the viral build, and that will work well. Of course, it will work well because it's viral hunter munitions. Show me a gun viral hunter munitions doesn't work anyway, and it's boring. So let's go with some kind of extreme Warframe buffs with Rhino, who is hideous, and I don't like him. Um, damn it! All right, right. Gotta get energy for his 3. So 102%. Yeah, obviously, and plus Arcane Rage. Yeah. But I mean, if you have a max Arcane Rage, then, you know, you have a max Arcane Rage, then the damage is going to be kind of high. But of course, not everyone has that. I really wish some people would, this is just personal experience, would stop saying, oh, just use max Arcane Rage, like every single person has it. It's not a common arcane. It is not. And I hope that DE gives us a better way of getting Cetus Arcanes and not just slave away in the worst content in the game via being Eidolons. So, I don't even have the buff on anymore. So yeah, if you want to use this as a semi-auto rifle, it works very, very well. Full auto, it's good. It's definitely a good weapon. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have my Panzervopophyla attack the enemies when I'm using corrosive. So this is going to be a much more realistic situation for me because I use the Panzervopophyla all the time now. Ninja has nothing on him. So go ahead there. Go ahead there, Hans. Do your thing. I wish I knew how to say Hans, do your thing in German. I will one day because I will learn German fluently. So spread that vial around. Yeah. So this is pretty realistic actually. If you run the Panzervophyla like I do, which is basically all the damn time, then this is actually fairly realistic. So is the Stradavar Prime a bad weapon? No, it's good. It will shred everything in the normal star chart, no problem. I mean, most weapons will. I'm pretty sure you could kill Kayla Dethane with a Stug, with the right Warframe buffs and a bit of luck and sacrificing a goat. Anyway, it's a good weapon. Do I recommend it? Yeah, if you are a fan of a normal kind of plain Jane assault rifle, if you like this kind of weapon, then absolutely I would recommend it. It's a good one. The thing though, like I said, I wish it had some extra sauce. DE, when you release new primes from now on, please make them different from their normal counterparts. Like when we get the Prime Attica, I would be shocked if that thing is not an explosive crossbow like the Zooge. Or it could be something completely different to the Zooge, but still be cool. Also, why didn't we get the Attica Prime or the Daikyu Prime with Ninja Prime? That still makes me go, what the hell? Instead, we got the stupid ass Zocti in the Guandao, which I predicted the Guandao. I knew it was going to happen. Duh. It's a Chinese weapon with a Chinese folklore character. Anyway, the Stradavar, it's a good weapon. It is. It hits like a goddamn sledgehammer, and it's going to shred normal Star Chart enemies. I've taken this thing into arbitrations even, and it didn't have that much trouble. I took this into disruption missions, and it didn't really have much trouble. I just switched on the semi-auto for the Demolist because the semi-auto is the big guy take down mode, and this was back before I had the Riven. Um, so without the Riven, you obviously could just do viral heat. You could do corrosive heat. You could do a number of builds, just viral hunter munitions if you're going against high level enemies. Uh, if you want to be boring. Anyway, Stradavar Prime. It's good. It, I don't really have much else to say about it. It's good, and also it looks nice. And yeah, there is this Telku skin if you want it. Anyway, so yeah, that's the Stradavar Prime. It's a kind of a plain Jane-esque assault rifle, but it's neat. It's neat. It's definitely a good weapon. So, Rivens. My Riven, honestly, isn't the best. I kind of wish I rolled it a little bit better. I will eventually once I play this game a lot more. Get back into this game more. Um, Honestly, critical chance and critical damage would probably be your best options. Raw damage on this weapon, it works, but the base damage is so damn low. Now you could say, well, if I take off the punch through and put punch through on my Riven, that way I could have heavy caliber. The accuracy of this weapon, I don't know how well it's going to work with heavy caliber, because 25 accuracy, and you see the spread of this weapon. It basically fills the entire reticle. So do that if you want. So like I said, I'm not going to be going into steel path to this weapon because that's unrealistic. It's such an unrealistic thing to be like, oh, this weapon can't take down steel path, that means it's garbage. No, very few guns can actually deal with steel path decently. So ones off the top of my head that can deal with steel path okay are like the Kuva Nucor, the any sniper rifle really, the Vectis Prime, the Rubica Prime are like the heavy hitters, of course, because they're the Rubica Prime and Vectis Prime. The Ceranos Prime can deal with high level enemies decently, especially with stealth multipliers. Well, Avara. And trying to think of other weapons off the top of my head. Basically any melee can deal with steel path. Anyway, because melee is busted. So, with all that being said, this is the build. If you don't have a Riven, then simply substitute here a heat mod, hunter munitions, more elemental damage, whatever. So, anyway, Stradavar Prime. It's a good weapon. It is. I just wish it was a bit more saucy. So, thank you guys so much for watching. And remember, in Trilby, we trust.